Yeah, they hate when you elevate. They stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate.
Today is a very unique episode. If you all follow our previous vlogs and IGS, you will know that Jack Cars actually leased us a company car. And today, we'll be doing a review on that company car, which is the BYD Atto 3. And also, not only that, I know that you all have some burning questions about the BYD Atto 3 and about EVs, and I will try my best to answer them in this video. Let's dive in. So let us start off first with the brand and the design. So BYD actually stands for Build Your Dreams. And this is the BYD Atto 3. Fun fact is that the Atto is actually the smallest time scale in physics. So the first question from the audience is that the BYD actually copied the Tesla design. But I'm not so sure about that because from the outside, it just looks like a normal SUV. It looks nothing like the Tesla lah. Maybe its counterpart like the BYD Seal, maybe it has more similarities to the Tesla car. But what I can say that has a similar resemblance is that as you can see from the backlight of the BYD Atto 3, it really resembles a bit like the Porsche, where it follows that red streamline light at the back. Sweet, huh? As you can see at the back of the car, they have this design. It actually represents dragon scales because BYD is actually a Chinese company. So they actually implement that the Atto 3 is designed like a dragon like that. That's why they have these scales at the back here. So as for the front of the BYD Atto 3, you can see that the design follows the dragon's head. So the eyes, right, is like supposed to represent the eyes of the dragon. So when you unlock and lock the car, the lights will turn on, presenting the opening of the dragon eyes. Overall, the BYD Atto 3 from the outside looks like a normal SUV so far lah, but it gets really weird when we go inside. So right now we're in the interior of the BYD Atto 3. As you can see, it's very nice. According to our research, it's a vegan leather. I have no idea what's that, but it still feels very nice, like real leather like that. The interior is very inspired by a gym and an airplane. So what I mean by the gym, right, is that if you can see the steering wheel, right, it is actually bigger and larger than normal cars, and it represents weights in the gym. And as you can see from the dashboard, they have this indented design in the dashboard, which actually represents the muscle fibers of your arms. The aircon as well, it represents the circular shape of the weights of the gym, right? As for this part, the center console, it actually represents the treadmill. I don't know how, but yeah, but quite a good amount of space inside. As for the gear shifter, this is the part where it represents the aeroplane part lah, where actually if you shift it, it feels like you're riding a plane. As for the handle, it's a very unique design. I think they follow the throttle of the airplane as well, where you can shift it and that's how you open the door. Wow. So they actually have some compartment here for USB and USB-C to do some charging. I think quite standard. But one thing very special about this part is that for this compartment at the front here is actually wireless charging. So if you have a phone that is MagSafe, you don't need any wire, you can just put your phone at here and it will charge. They also have these guitar strings at the bottom of the door where it's supposed to represent the boxing ring. Very strange design. But the one thing I don't like is that you cannot adjust the headrest. It's like supposed to represent like a sports car lah, but I cannot adjust. So if you're short, right, you'll be sitting like that. Not comfortable. Another thing that I really like about the BYD Atto 3 is that they have actually a sunroof where you can adjust and open the thing. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it about the front. Pretty spacious, quite a comfortable seat for a driver, but let us go to the back and see how the passenger feels like. So right now we're in the passenger seat. I would say overall quite comfortable. The leg space, wow, not bad, not bad. Oh, there's actually aircon at the back, which I believe most cars don't really have it, which is good because usually when the passengers at the back, they feel very hot or what. At least they have an aircon here to adjust. They have an armrest where you can put your drinks and what. Wow, pretty comfortable and all. And yeah, the seat is pretty much the same as the front, but the difference is that they can adjust their head, which is why I do not understand why passengers can adjust headrest but the driver cannot. Another thing that I noticed about the passenger seat is actually they have two holes at the bottom of the seat. These two holes, right, is actually to fit your baby chair, so it's quite family friendly. So I think that's about it for the back seat. Nothing much about here, so we'll be moving on to the boot. So for the boot space, right, it's your standard SUV boot. So as you can see, rather spacious for an SUV boot. They have this divider here, which I think is removable to actually allow more boot space. Wow! I think here you can fit about roughly 3 large luggages, which is not bad. But one good thing about this is actually, let me show you guys. If you come to the front of the passenger seat and you pull the seats down, the seat actually reclines 90 degrees. So it's fully flat, allowing more boot space. But the one funny thing is that when you actually push back the seat, right, the seat belt actually gets caught and like you have to adjust it so that the seat belt comes to the front. So that's about it for the boot space. So let's go for a drive. I should walk to the front actually. So currently right now we're on the road, so we are going to talk about the performance and the drive of the BYD Atto 3. So according to BYD stats, it has a range of 565 kilometers according to the WLTP, which stands for the Worldwide Harmonic Light Vehicle Test Procedure. But that is because they say in the test that you have to drive at a speed of 46 kilometers per hour. But that's crazy lah. If you drive like that in Singapore, nobody's going to drive like that. But if you drive like a normal human being, the normal range for the BYD Atto 3 will be 420 kilometers on a full charge of 100% lah. But that depends on how fast you drive, how heavy your car is, and so on and so forth lah. Not only that, the BYD's top speed is 160 kilometers per hour. I have to say that's actually quite slow for an EV, because compared to other EVs out there, certain ones I think can go up to 200 kilometers per hour. This car can reach acceleration of 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. That's what they say lah. I'm not quite sure. Talking about driving experience, right? So far the car has been quite smooth and it's very good at low speed lah. What I mean by low speed is about maybe you drive about 60 kilometers per hour, the car generally moves quite smoothly. However, when you go up to speeds of up to 80 or 90, you'll get quite noisy because of the wind. Like, I do not know if y'all can hear it, but if I do speed up to 80 kilometers, you can actually hear the wind from outside. So I would say like maybe this car is not that soundproof at all. Like most EV cars, they have this thing called regenerative braking. What is regenerative braking? It's basically the conversion of kinetic energy into electrical energy to recharge the battery in your car. However, when you let go of the BYD pedal, it doesn't feel like there's much braking force to it. But there's one good thing about this car is that its turning radius is actually relatively quite small because it's only 10.7 meters, which means that it's good for making U-turns in Singapore. So especially for those larger cars, for example the Tesla, it has a wider turning range, so you have to go even wider. So right now, I'm currently at 34%, so I'm going to find a charger and I'm going to show you guys how to charge a BYD Atto 3. So right now we are at Gardens by the Bay, and this is the charger that most locations have by SP Group lah. And one of the questions that you guys have been asking is that, is it really very inconvenient to have an EV car in Singapore because of very little charging station? But a fun fact is that there's over 3,600 plus EV charging stations in Singapore. So you do not have to worry that you cannot find these charging stations when you drive an EV. The BYD Atto 3 actually has a button. It will show you nearby chargers in Singapore. So for the BYD Atto 3, it supports up to 2 kinds of charging, AC and DC. For this charger, it is the AC charger, which is the one with the smaller head. And for the DC one, it is the charger with the larger head lah. I mean, that's how I tell the difference. Charging is actually found at the front side of the driver's side. So once you plug in the AC charger, you just head over to the charging station and you download the SP Group app and you just need to scan and you're good to go. And that's how you charge a BYD Atto 3. So after you've charged your car, you can actually see the expected time for it to get to a full charge. It says here that the expected time is to be around 10 hours 36 minutes, right? So if you want to have a quicker charging, you obviously have to use the DC one, which has a higher kilowatt lah, so that it will speed up your charging. So from using the AC, if you have charged from maybe 20% to 100%, it will roughly take about 8 to 10 hours. For the DC, it will take roughly about an hour for you to get from 20% to 100%. So next up, we're going to talk about the features and technology of the BYD Atto 3. As you can see at the front, right, we have this 15.6-inch LED screen, which is a touchscreen display lah. You have the standard apps like your Spotify, you got your media center, your radio, and like your Google Maps, your GPS, and all that stuff lah. And this interface is actually your main control system for your car. So you can control your aircon, you can control the wind speed, and so on and so forth. And the BYD Atto 3 has a really very cool function. Hi BYD, turn the aircon to fan speed 5.
The lowest I can set is 17 degrees. I'll adjust to that.
Okay, sure. Okay lah, it's basically the Siri of the BYD lah. Pretty cool. And that the LED screen can do this at a touch of a button. I don't know what is this vertical thing for lah. I think maybe it's to watch TikTok or what lah. But there's also a con to this big LED screen, because when I'm driving, right, and I want to adjust the aircon, right, I cannot really see where to press the aircon, because if let's say it's touchscreen or what, I have to concentrate on the road and then I have to adjust, and sometimes I might miss the button. That's something that I struggle with, like adjusting the temperature, adjusting the aircon speed, or maybe even adjusting the song. And also another special feature is that you can actually adjust the ambient light of the speakers located on the handles of the car. So this light, it will actually follow the beat of your music. So one cool thing about the parking features of the BYD is that they have this 360 panoramic view, where when you do your reversing or your parallel parking, you can see all 4 corners of your car, which greatly assists you if you really struggle with your parallel parking. And another cool feature is that if you tap your car on the display, you can actually see what's underneath your car. To wrap up all the features of the BYD Atto 3, they actually have an app for you. Basically just helps you lock and unlock your car if you are not near your car. It actually can turn on the aircon for you. It also shows you the service center for your BYD in multiple locations. So that's a very good touch to have when you actually have a BYD Atto 3.
I be running through the streets, I be running it, man, running it, man, running it, man, running it, man. Baton in my hand, running it, man. I be running through the streets, I be running it, man.
So we have come to the end of the video, and I really do hope that I have covered as much things as I can for this car. And is this car a buy? Is this car a can consider? Or is this car a totally avoid? Personally, for me, I feel that this car is a can consider kind of car. I mean, there are many EVs out there, and the competition for this car, it is very stiff. But you still should give BYD a chance and really go and try this car out. And not only that, to answer you guys' last question on whether EV cars are harder to maintain, well, that's actually not true. EV cars are actually easier to maintain because there's no engine in them, there are fewer moving parts to wear down, and there's no oil to change. And like I said before at the start of the video, that this car is actually leased to us by Jack Cars with their plug and drive program. So what this plug and drive program is actually a program where it's a one price cover all, so that you don't have to pay the COE, you don't have to pay the insurance, you don't have to pay the maintenance, and you don't have to pay road tax. So actually this program is to facilitate the switch from your petrol car to your new EV car. So you actually don't have to go down to the service center by yourself. They actually offer a free concierge service where they will come to your house to pick up the car and actually send the car down to the service center on your behalf. And also they also offer 6 different colors for you to choose from for your BYD Atto 3. Not only that, you can actually drive this car to Malaysia with no extra additional cost. If you still have any doubts, you can arrange a test drive or viewing before considering leasing a car from them. And I know many of you always say that leasing is expensive, but we have a promo code for you. Okay, so remember to use our promo code because you'll get $300 off your leasing rates. You'll get 15% rebate off monthly charging for the first year. And not only that, Jack Cars is also having an upcoming roadshow from the 30th of September to the 6th of October. So what they will have down there is their range of different cars that they are having in this plug and drive program. So remember to go down to the roadshow and check it out for yourself. And also don't forget to please use our promo code. And as always, remember to follow all of our socials. Click here for more, click here to what, and cut to the bloopers.
They like it when the guy like hold their thigh and drive.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Huh? Do you like it?
Something?
Is that true?
I like it lah.
You like it?
I like it.
And then I shall drive like that for now.